Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of College Ball with J-Dog. I know I've been slacking. Life's been kicking my hind end. We're here, though. We got a few things to talk about. Joey Aguilar denied another year of eligibility from a judge in Tennessee. Our own judge working against us. Where do the Vols turn at quarterback? We're going to talk about it. We also got to talk about Rondell Moore, passed away, age 25. We're going to remember him by going over the game he had against Ohio State. I mean, absolutely legendary game. Purdue upset Ohio State that night. He went off. Before we get into it, reminder, subscribe to the channel. When March Madness rolls around, we will do a bracket. I'll give you all the information. You get on it, you win it, I'll cash app you $50. But you have to be a subscriber. You got to be able to prove you're a subscriber. I'll send you the $50. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you look out for March Madness. Let's get into it, y'all. Tennessee judge denies Joey Aguilar an extra year of eligibility. We thought, with it being a Tennessee judge, he's going to give Aguilar an extra year. Kind of like the Trindad Chambliss situation. The NCAA told Chambliss, no. Chambliss gets a lawyer, gets him a judge. That's an Ole Miss fan. He says, absolutely, you can have another year. Well, Tennessee, Joey Aguilar hires a lawyer that has done beat the NCAA for Tennessee before and represented Donald Trump against Supreme Court undefeated. Our judge says, I'm a Vol fan, but I'm going to screw you and not give Joey Aguilar an extra year. I mean, we was thinking it was like 85-90% chance that Joey Aguilar plays at Tennessee next year. Well, this judge says, nope, not giving him an extra year of eligibility. I'm standing with the NCAA. Nobody stands with the NCAA but a Tennessee judge, I guess. It is what it is. I would have loved to have Aguilar back. Like I've said on this channel before, if you go back and watch. I'm not a fan of these players getting 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I'm not. But if Ole Miss is doing it, if Miami's doing it, all these other teams are doing it, why not join in? I wish they'd go back to the days you got 5 years, period. It was hard to get a medical red shirt for a 6th year. You get your red shirt year, you get your 4 years to play, that's it. But those days are out the door. Until the NCAA steps up, has some balls, gets some power back, we do collective bargaining. Those days are out the door. The NCAA picks and chooses who gets extra eligibility. Miami has a linebacker. Got approved for an 8th year of eligibility. Montana has a linebacker. Got approved for a 9th year of eligibility. Chambliss gets his eligibility. Did the NCAA approve it? No. But a judge said, here you go. Aguilar denied. Make it make sense. Like I've said on this channel many times. How does the NCAA pick and choose who gets extra eligibility and who don't? Chambliss got a 6th year. Joey Aguilar was technically going for an 8th, but he's only going for a 6th. Technically. His 1st year in college didn't play. 2nd year, COVID happened. So then he played JUCO ball. Well, Diego Pavia got to play again because they said JUCO ball don't count. Well, now JUCO ball counts against Joey Aguilar. It's the same NCAA as it's always been. It's a case-by-case thing. There is no logic behind any decision the NCAA makes. And as far as I'm concerned, there'll never be any logic behind any case the NCAA makes. I mean, you got Tennessee paid players $6,000 in Chick-fil-A bags. We're still on probation. You got Michigan stealing everybody's signs. They don't get no wins taken away. They are on probation. You got Bruce Pearl at Tennessee has a barbecue of players, lies about it, gets fired, gets a 3 or 4 year show cause. It don't make no sense how they pick and choose who gets punished, who gets eligibility. The NCAA is kind of like a woman, kind of like your woman. You're never going to understand it fully. I mean, let's be honest about it. As the old man once said, there's two things in life you'll never understand: women and the NCAA. That old man was me, by the way. So where does Tennessee turn at quarterback? We got George McIntyre, Faison Brandon, Ryan Staub on the roster. Everybody's automatically assuming it's going to be George McIntyre. I'm not willing to count Ryan Staub out because a veteran in Josh Heupel's system picks it up quicker. I know this is year 2 for McIntyre in the system. It'll be Ryan Staub's first year. But everybody is counting Ryan Staub out. But the thing is, look at last year after Nico left, and we got Joey Aguilar. What was everybody saying? Tennessee's going to struggle on offense this year. Joey Aguilar is not going to be able to make the leap up. Blah, 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 on and on. Well, what does he do? He comes in, he leads the SEC in passing. He has a really good year, a few too many turnovers, but he also had a benign tumor in his throwing shoulder that affected him in the second half of the season. So, I'm not willing to count Ryan Staub out. Do I think George McIntyre is probably the favorite right now? Yes, because it'll be his second year in Josh Heupel's system. There's one route many people haven't talked about, and that is still having a quarterback come in the spring to play for one season to bridge the gap. And then next year, Faison Brandon and George McIntyre battle it out. That was what we wanted to begin with. That's what the plan was with Nico. Have Nico till next year. Then Faison, George McIntyre battle it out. Like I said, don't count Ryan Staub out. Do I think George McIntyre is the favorite? Absolutely. And everybody thinks there's no chance Tennessee finds another quarterback to join the squad. Well, just because there isn't a spring portal, y'all, doesn't mean that we can't add a quarterback in the spring. Last year, after the spring portal closed, Wisconsin had a defensive end just unenroll at Wisconsin, go enroll at Miami. And Wisconsin was like, he can't do that. And the NCAA said, well, yeah, he can because he's paying his way for school at Miami with his NIL money Miami's giving. So I would not count out Tennessee still adding another quarterback after the spring. There's going to be somebody somewhere that thinks they're going to be the starter. They're going to lose the competition. Tennessee get in contact with their agent, and they end up at Tennessee after spring ball. I truly believe that is an option. Now, I think it'll happen. I'd put it at 75% that we add a quarterback after the spring. Unless we just love what we see out of Staub, McIntyre, and Faison Brandon. There is a quarterback somewhere that's out of school that thinks he's going to win the job, and coming out of spring ball, it's going to look like he's not going to be the starter, and all he's got to do is enroll at Tennessee, get an NIL deal, and play. The portal is an imaginary thing, y'all. Yes, it exists, but there's ways around it. Look at BYU, their quarterback. He got in trouble for breaking the honor code. having sex before marriage. At BYU, they kicked him off the team. He just walks on at Tulane. There's still a very big possibility Tennessee adds a quarterback before next season starts. So that's something we got to keep an eye on. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hitting that like button, commenting, sharing with your buddies. That way you don't miss if anything breaks about that. Now, if Heupel likes what he sees out of Faison Brandon, George McIntyre, Ryan Staub, will that happen? Probably not. Everybody's just assuming it's going to be McIntyre. I'm not counting out Staub, and I'm also not counting out Faison Brandon, y'all. There's still a guy here and there. I mean, I know college football's went to older players. I mean, look at Indiana. They was as old as the Green Bay Packers, just won the national title. But they are still true freshmen that come in that are just that good, and they pick up the college game just like that. So I would not count Faison Brandon out either. I think he is that kind of player that could come in and win the job as a freshman. Would that be ideal for Tennessee? According to how good he actually is against SEC teams. He's got a couple of warm-up games. We got an easy one to start. Then you got Georgia Tech, which is not really a warm-up game. But they're not Texas. They're not Georgia. They're not as good as top-tier SEC teams we'll be playing this year. I'm kind of leaning towards Staub right now, though. Heupel loves a veteran that can make quick, smart decisions. Look at Aguilar. He was a no-star quarterback. Had to go to community college, JUCO, Appalachian State. He performed better in this system than a five-star generational quarterback in Nico. Hendon Hooker was at Virginia Tech before he come to Tennessee. They benched him. They wouldn't even let him make any decisions. They told him who to throw the ball to when they called the play. And if he didn't, they sat him on the bench. We bring in Joe Milton, one of the strongest arms, most arm talent you'll ever see ever. He outperforms Joe Milton in this offense because he made quick, accurate decisions. Being able to make quick decisions, be accurate with the football is absolutely pivotal in this offense. I know you can say it's pivotal in all offenses, but our offense, as quick as we go, you got to be able to make quick decisions, get up to the line, read the defense quick, make decisions fast, get the ball out accurately. So I'm not willing to count out the veteran Ryan Staub just yet. But we'll just have to see where things go, y'all. Yesterday evening, last night, a little in between, the news breaks that Rondell Moore killed himself at 25 years old. Absolutely sad, tragic news, y'all. 25 years old. I'm 35. I still look at a 25-year-old as a kid. I mean, this kid was playing in the NFL. You think you're in the NFL, you're making millions of dollars. You'd have all this joy in life. But it goes back to the old saying that money can't buy happiness, y'all. You never know what nobody's going through. You never know what's going through people's minds. And always when you talk to people, you say, hey, how are you? They say, oh, I'm good. How are you? You say you're good. Regardless of how you really do it. So check in on your buddies. If you think somebody's depressed, talk to them. This kid had way too many years ahead of him to do what he did, but you don't know what people are going through. You don't know, regardless, even if you think it's something small, it might be something big to them. The kid was an absolute speedster. He had his season ended 2 years in a row, season-ending injuries. People, oh, he's injury prone, he's this, he's that. Cardinals receiver Hollywood Brown said he talked to him like an hour or two before he done it, and he seemed fine. He couldn't believe he done it. That's usually how it goes. You have people that scream, "Oh, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do that." Those people are usually just seeking attention, not trying to say that they won't do it. But it's always the people that don't mention nothing about it that actually do it. So make sure you check in on your friends. Even if they say they're all right, be like, "You sure? Are you just saying you're good or are you good?" I mean, this kid had an absolute amazing game against Ohio State, y'all. Ohio State was ranked number 2 in the country. And Purdue is Purdue. I mean, their best seasons are 8, 9 wins. And I mean, that's a coach wins 8, 9 ball games a year at Purdue. They deserve a statue outside. Because Purdue has always been that kind of program. Their 6, 7 wins as a good season at Purdue. Number 2, Ohio State comes into Purdue, and this kid goes absolutely off, y'all. I mean, he had the game of his life against Ohio State. I still remember to this day. Ohio State was favored by like 3 or 4 touchdowns, and Purdue won 49-20, y'all. Let's look at this kid's stat line. Rondale Moore, he had 2 carries for 24 yards, and he had 12 receptions for 170 yards, 2 touchdowns. Against Ohio State, the kid put on an absolute show. He also added 56 yards in the kick return and punt return. So he had about 250 yards against the number 2 team in the country, Ohio State. I was looking back at the stats. I remember the game, but I was looking back at his stats. I mean, the kid put on a show, y'all. And what's even crazier than his stats in this game was that Ohio State threw the ball 71 times, y'all. Dwayne Haskins, rest his soul. He got killed. Pretty sure a car hit him or something. So 2 players in this game are already dead. That should be 25 years old and have a whole life ahead of them, y'all. It's crazy. The way the world is now, everybody's stressed out. Everybody's struggling. Be kind to people, y'all. The moral of the story is be kind to people. Try to help people. You don't know what they're going through. People are struggling. Mental health problems all over the place. Be kind to people. Dwayne Haskins threw the ball 71 times, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. The 1 interception he threw was a pick 6. So at least this kid that took his life, he has this moment that everybody can look back on and be like, man, this kid had an absolutely insanely special game against the number 2 team in the country in a game his team was supposed to have no chance of winning. He put this team on his back and led them to victory over the number 2 team in the country. That's how I'll remember him. Not the injuries in the NFL, not the average NFL career he had. Not that the kid felt like there's no other way out and took his life. I'll remember him from the memories he gave us at Purdue, putting on an absolute show against Ohio State. And he put on a show against other players, other teams too. But none more memorable than that night against number 2 Ohio State, where Purdue shocks the world, beats the Buckeyes by 29 points. If you're watching this video, you're struggling, you're feeling down, you're battling depression, you got mental health issues, comment on the video. I'll go back and forth with you. You're not alone. If you need somebody to reach out to me on YouTube. We'll figure out a way to talk behind the scenes where everybody can't see it. Hope everybody's had a great Sunday. We went to church this morning, had a great sermon. Our preacher is absolutely amazing. Hope y'all have a blessed Sunday. I appreciate y'all tuning in. If you need help, reach out for help. God bless y'all. And as always, go Vols.